So, hi, hello, and welcome to another weekly talk. And yeah, last week was something. It's been an up and down week. Let's call it. Let's call it what it is. It's an up and down week where it's been up and down. I have watched some really good TV shows. I feel like also. So, for movies, I actually have watched a few movies and they have all been rewatches, basically. So, yeah, it's been fine. And yeah, so basically, firstly, I watched Dumbo, which I am like following. I, I feel like my problem is that once I set a goal, I was just like, I'm going to finish off all my Disney movies within a year. That didn't happen. And then all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh, well, but then we are just going to start over again. And which I don't know why I do. Just because, yeah. So I really, really like some of them, and some of them I don't. Now, Dumbo. I really love Dumbo, but I think that is because it's sad. It's definitely sad. So yeah, that's kind of all there is. So, and then watch X-Men, whatever the first class, whatever. If that is the first one, then I watch that. And I don't really know why I'm trying to rewatch these over and over again, because I have to say I can reread things, but I can't like rewatch a lot of things, just because a lot of the rewatches I'm just like, I've seen this before, it's boring. So yeah. But yes, I like it enough, but it's not like something that I think that I should rewatch over and over again, because I need to move on to something else and some, let's call it, better things. So yeah. Then I watched the Brothers Lionheart, and this is a movie it made in like 1977 or something, so it's really really old. But it's one of the movies that I grew up with, and it's also one of like my favorite movies when I grew up, and it has never left. Now I am going to say no, it's not a great movie. It kind of sucks. But because of my like childhood that I loved it, I can't like not love it. Even if I know that it is not the best movie out there, I just can't put this to like I don't like it, because I love it. I was knitting while watching this movie. I never do that unless I like the movie. And I usually read. But yeah, so I love this movie. Even if it's not good, I love it. It's sort of I call it my comfort movie. Like, I need a movie where I don't need to follow along if I don't feel like it. That is sort of my movie. And I have, the same with TV shows. Like, The Saddle Club is like I call those my sickness TV show, because I always watched them when I was sick. The first two seasons, not the last one. That's a no for me. But the first two, yes. And it kind of became like this whole thing. Like, I love that movie, and it's, yeah. Let's call it, I think too hard on it once I have grown up, like now, where I see things that I haven't seen before. So let's just quickly like talk about this, because I apparently love this movie. So it's basically about Carl and Jonathan. And basically, in the real world, let's call it that, Carl, he has most likely tuberculosis. He has a cough, and just like they never tell you what it is, but you can say that it's most likely tuberculosis, and he will die from this. Then there's Jonathan. He basically talks about this place. Like when you die, you go to Nangiala, which is a place where you can have like adventures from, early in the morning to late in the evenings. Then there's a fire in the building where they live, and Jonathan and Carl basically jumps out the window to save themselves. And Jonathan dies, Carl doesn't. And basically, then you see that Carl is on like the couch, and he says that I am coming to you, Jonathan. And then he wakes up in this beautiful place, and it's very fascinating because the first one is in like these yellowish tones, and then once you get into Nangiala, you get these bright, beautiful colors. And basically, then they have adventures. But the thing is that the adventures in this world are really, really dark. Just because there are a few people. You have two valleys, and one of the valleys are basically taken over by these evil people. And they have a dragon. And basically, the one that is kind of the one that is supposed to lead the war, he's taken captive, and he's going to be eaten by this dragon called Katla. And basically, Jonathan, he decides that he is going to go, which, yeah. And then what happens is that, they get everything loose, like they get him loose, and then there's a war, and then basically it ends with Jonathan getting burned by the dragon, and Jonathan and Carl basically jumps off a cliff to get to the next place, which is Nangilima. But basically, what I noticed when I basically took a very good look, because apparently I didn't do that when I was a child, on the tombstone. This is really important though, because in Nangilima, I think Nangiala, yeah, they are basically called the brothers Lionheart. But in the normal world, they are called Lion. And on the tombstone, it says Carl and Jonathan Lion, which when I grew up, I found really interesting that it actually says that. And now I am thinking, was this whole thing just like Carl dreaming? Who knows? So, yeah. And then the last one I watched is basically The Phantom Menace, because apparently I can't just watch the two last movies that I need in the Star Wars universe and be done with it. Apparently I'm going to watch every single one from the beginning again, and I don't know. Truth be told, I don't know. I don't know, can I do it? I don't know. Well, let's go over to TV shows, because I watched some of these TV shows are really, really good. And I feel that is one reason why I am so bad at watching movies, because some of these TV shows are so good that I just have to continue on with them. You will probably hear about these TV shows for quite a while, actually, because, yeah. So, the first one is I Am a Killer. And this is a Netflix show where basically they're interviewing people on death row. And that basically means that they have been charged in a specific way so that they have gotten the death row. Like they are gotten the death sentence. And it's very fascinating. Just because they take this one case, they actually talk to the inmate, which is very fascinating to see, because some of the stories some are really sad, and some are just like really chilling. But they don't only do that, they basically talk to the people around this case. And sometimes you don't really know what to think. Just because sometimes the case that they are talking about, you basically have like the like a police and maybe like the people around that, they have a very different case than the other people around here. Like, there was just one inmate who was basically talking, and basically there the police had a very different tale than everybody else around, and it was very, very fascinating where he got the death sentence, and basically the other person in the store basically confirms a lot of the things that the inmate is saying, and he's just like, I told the police this, but the police, they told a very different tale. And I find that really fascinating, how we are just, yeah, doing that. And sometimes it is really like scary just because the stories are so different. And yeah, it's very, very fascinating to basically see. And yeah, some of them are just like really, really sad. And yeah, and like the last ones that I watched, like I think it was the last one that I watched like this week or last week, it was really like, it was chilling, with just, yeah. Especially when he says that, like, I am going to come out. And you are just like, that sounds scary. And yeah, that one, it's very fascinating. And yeah, very, very fascinating to basically see how things is actually, going. And yeah, yeah, I don't know what else to call it other than fascinating. Then we have Homestead Rescue, Rainy Ranch. And this is basically the Homestead Rescue, but basically they are in Alaska on their homestead. And yeah, I like it. We are almost done. I will be done this week because I don't have that many episodes left. I think I have, I don't know, enough for a week or so. So we should be good on that. And other than that, I have only watched How I Caught My Killer. So I haven't been able to, get to a lot of the other things that I am currently watching, but this one I have gotten to. And yeah, it's fascinating. Now I will be finishing off this, this TV show this week, I'm gonna say. Yeah, this week. And it's very fascinating, basically. And so what this is all about is basically these cases where their phone has basically solved the murder. And that's very fascinating to basically see how these are like, we have no clue, nothing makes sense. Then they find the phone and everything is on there. And the killer is usually caught. And some of these are really like harrowing, like awful cases. And yeah. So, what else to say? Like, yeah, overall, I have been watching some good TV shows, and yeah, I just gotten a later start, which has made it a little bit more difficult, finishing off things. But let's go over to reading. So, I read quite a lot, actually. I will finish more today, which yeah, is kind of the reason why I try to film them on Monday, so I don't finish any books and have to, be like, where did I start, where did I quit, and everything just like that. So let's talk about it. The first one is the redo list. And I liked it enough. I just felt like... So basically, I don't really know how much I am going to say. So, basically in this one, she's described as a curvy girl. And the reason why I give it 3 stars is that I want more like positive thought, like positive comments and everything about that. Just, not like commenting on like the body type or everything, but like I want more than she looks hot. Because I'm just like, why does she look hot? It's... But now I feel like I might just be a little nitpicky. Like, yeah, and just like, I want kind of more talk about that. But I just feel like that is maybe just me, but I feel like there was just like one people who actually said one like that as well. They wanted more than just the mention of her being like a curvy girl. They wanted some like a little bit more. But it's, I have to say, it's really really great when we have like curvy girl like representation. Just because I feel like a lot of books are like, she is so skinny, she don't have any boobs, she don't have an ass, and it's just like flat everything, and that's hot. And I'm just like, yeah, but curvy girls are also hot, and I feel like, yeah, I really love it. Now, I also have to say that I felt like she was, and he, so he is basically, he was in the military, and basically what happens is that something, he basically, something happened to his back, and he had this like, he had to do something with his back because he could be like paralyzed or something. And he's basically talking so down on himself, like, oh, I had to quit the military, and I feel like I am so bad person for that. And I'm just like, but it wasn't your fault. And then I also feel like she was also just like a little lost without the relationship that she was in. And I feel like one thing I really want is someone who is comfortable with not having to be in a relationship. Just because I feel like your relationship shouldn't be who you are. I want to, like, what I say is that I am fine with being single. If I am to find someone, I'm going to, yeah, it's going to be someone who is basically, making, I almost said my life better, like in the way that it kind of builds on my world, but I don't need to. So the next one is mistakes were made, and this one I really really loved. It's basically about Gabe and I don't remember her name. But basically, they get into a friends with benefits sort of style, and can we just say she has ADHD, or like, basically, in the beginning, she don't know that she has it, and I'm just like, yeah, it's basically, yeah. So I found I was just like, I feel so seen, and yeah. So obviously, I am just like, things that this person, like, the, is that like, not like a psychologist, but something in those lines, like, and she's just like, this is how you would be, and I'm just like, sounds reasonable. I would just say that, like, yeah, I can see that. And then, yeah, it was overall a really good book. I really liked it, and yeah, and yeah, I don't know what else to say other than I loved it. I really, really enjoy this book, and I really like this world. And yeah, the next I read was The Blood Countess, and this is basically a nonfiction about Bathory, and I liked it. Not gonna say anything else because I don't know what else to say, basically. Then we have A Mouthful of Dust, and this is Nevo. This is the Singing Hills cycle, and this one, I am just, usually they are not like something that is amazing or anything, but they are short. I have nothing against them, so I continuously, read them, and there will be one, like another one out in a few months, and when I feel like it, I'm definitely going to continue on with that. Then I read Part-Time Husband, and I really, really enjoyed this. Can't wait to continue on with this. But it's basically about this woman who her uncle says that if you don't get married, basically I will find another place for you in the firm because you spend way too much time, working. And she's just like, but I have a boyfriend, and I just haven't shown him to you because I know that you wouldn't approve. And he's just like, okay, within a week, I want you. I want to meet him. So she is just like, I need to find like someone who is basically rich enough so he won't come after my money. But I also need my uncle, was it grandfather? Might actually be the grandfather. I think it was the grandfather. Not uncle, but that grandfather. And she was just like, I need to find someone who my grandfather don't like. And she finds the one that he hates. And yeah, it was so much fun. I loved it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And basically, they get married. And they eventually fall for each other. So, and one thing I really liked was just they were just like, we are going to stay married for a year. And even when they had their conflict in this, they were still living together. They were still in the same bed, and she was just like, I'm gonna be petty. And basically, just like being extremely bad. That is actually very fun. And I was just like, I feel like sometimes that is what it's like to be in a relationship. Like, if you live together, if you don't have anything like anywhere else to stay, like sleeping in the same bed while the other guy, while the one on your side, you don't like him at this current moment. I'm just like, yeah, sometimes you just have to go through it, and yeah. Then I read Through Gates of Garnets and Gold, and in this one we meet Nancy again. And I feel like I don't love these as much as I used to, but I am like continuously, getting to them because they are short. I like them enough and I find them entertaining. So don't feel like there is kind of a lot of other things to say about that. I overall like it. So yeah. Then I read The Christmas You Found Me, and it was so cute. Now, I have to say, like, this week, I read Part-Time Husband, which was a marriage of convenience. And then I read The Christmas You Found Me, which also is a marriage of convenience. This one was so cute. This one was, yeah. So it's basically about this woman who just got divorced, like, 20 days ago. Her divorce finally went through. And basically, her best friend think it's funny to basically say, hey, if anyone wants to marry me, I am free on the market. This is what I can, give. And then this guy who has this 4-year-old sweetest child ever called Emma, who basically needs a kidney. And to get that kidney transplant, he needs a stable income because the medication is so expensive. So he basically wants to marry her because of that, and she's just like, fine, because the girl is the cutest thing. I totally get that, And so it's actually really, really good. Now I am going to say it's not a lot of things that is happening in this. It's a very slow book, but it was so cute. And Emma, she just made the whole story. It was so cute. She was so sweet. And yeah, also she had her rough days, but overall she was really sweet. And yeah, don't know what else to say about that. It was so sweet, and I I don't know what else to say. It was, yeah. And the longer into the book you come, the sadder it kind of becomes, because it's apparent that Emma still dialysis don't work, and she needs a kidney transplant right now. She's like at the top of the transplant list, and it's so sad to just see that. And yeah, they are is also like really like not slow burn. They are obviously attracted to each other, and as time goes by, they get more and more attracted to each other. But it's really really slow now. Yeah, really cute. Then I read Dyatlov Pass, and let's just say I think my brain years ago was that this was a nonfiction about this. It's not. It's basically horror that is based on these true events, but it's something completely different. And let's just say that having 10% into, like, having 10% interesting things that is happening doesn't work for a book. So I didn't like it. I feel like some people might. But the thing kind of was that it just was so slow, and I just didn't. I ended up just not liking it. And I was so sad when, I don't like a book. I feel like I am just no. Then I read Adult ADHD Starter Guide, which is the last one that I read. And this is basically what it says it is. It's basically a starter guide to that. And I'm just trying to read a little bit of this topic. And yeah, it's just something. And yeah, and this one, it was good. I feel like she's giving you advice without saying that this is how you are going to do it, because yeah, but it's just like you might, sometimes you are hating cleaning, and these are like a few things that you might do because you find it boring, like put on a 5-minute timer or something. Now this one was completely free, so it didn't cost me a cent, which is good. So yeah, I think that's it. Now, where are we when it comes to YouTube? We have 150 left. So we are actually doing really, really well with this. And yeah, I have definitely, found a few ones that I'm just like, we are going to follow. Sometimes I am, getting to things, and then I'm just like, let's call it, I skip more than I watch the movie. So, not movie, but I watch the video. So maybe it is just like me not liking it as much as I maybe thought I would. So yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know what else to kind of say. We're doing well. Now I have 18 on my like normal list as well. So basically I have two lists. I have one, which is watch later, which all the people that I am, catched up on, I put those into there and, watch them usually during like the daytime. But then I have one called later, which, yeah, which has 150. So the watch later has 18 and the later has 150. And the later is basically like these these channels that I have started following, which I haven't catched up on. And yeah, so I always have kind of one of those. So I am, when I find things, because I kind of want to get a good, like a vibe from this. So I usually start at the beginning and just like walk through it, which, yeah. And then when I come to like have catched up on everything, I basically make an assessment. Am I going to continue on with this or not? And sometimes I say that I think I've done enough. I think I've watched enough. I don't love it enough to continue on. Sometimes I continue, and yeah. And sometimes I'm just like, I'm going to see if I like it or not. So yeah, but I am kind of hoping that very soon I will have catched up on everything, and that will make it much easier for me to, actually finish things off. And I think that is like one reason why I am so bad at watching movies, because I know how big that list is, and well, if I don't like watch it, then it's just going to go up and up and up, and I don't want that. I mean, my watch later was at like almost at like 70 videos, and I was just like, I need to do something about this. And yeah, and then, sometimes I can be a long time follower of someone, and I'm just like, with how things is going now, I don't actually watch much from this person anymore. And then I usually just end up unsubscribing. And yeah, I feel like I want a list of people that I, continuously watch. And yeah. So yeah, it's been very interesting. And yeah, and I also usually go through my YouTube subscribers usually every 6 months and see. Sometimes actually, well, every 6 months I do a deep dive, but usually like once a month I am just like, are there someone who I don't want to watch anymore, or sometimes has this person actually updated in the last few bits. And then yeah, I feel like that is like a good thing to do, like, because if people haven't updated in like a year, and I know and I haven't heard anything, don't know if they are coming back, I'm just like, then I'm not going to miss them. And then sometimes, like with Haley in Bookland, I was just like, I know that she wants to come back, meaning that it's been a year, but she has said that I am working on coming back, and then I am just like, okay, I am going to wait and see. And I really like her channel, so obviously then I stay. But if I haven't heard anything about them and they have been gone for a year, I am usually just like, then I am just going to unsubscribe, because if they are gone, they are gone. And yeah, I just feel like if they are back after a year, I am usually just like, yes, I probably loved their videos, but hopefully like YouTube will say, hey, they are back. And just because I know that you have watched this video, so maybe you'll like the new ones, and that would be fine. But I just don't want to wait for someone for years and years and years, and having kind of this clogged up people that I follow, like it's just like packed full. And yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that I will be able to finish off the watch later list, just so I can go back to actually getting to those like ambience videos that has currently accumulated a lots and lots and lots, and actually see what channels do I like to follow, what channels do I not like to follow, and just like see whatever I will get to. But yeah, I don't think there is anything else that I am going to talk about. So I hope you like this video, and I will see you next time for another one. Bye!